What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharpe, and welcome to the special Sunday evening edition of TSR Live. I guess this is TSR Primetime, your daily dose of red pill truth, wisdom, and awareness. I, of course, am in a great mood. The Philadelphia Eagles have won the NFC East. We are headed to the playoffs. Freddie Kitchens has just been fired by the Cleveland Browns, so looks like Black Monday is going to get here a little bit earlier. Pat Shurmur, the head coach for the Giants, is probably also on his way out the door. So plenty on the sports front to talk about. But that's not what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about the most common fitness myths. And, of course, joining me is none other than fitness expert himself, Myron Gaines. Myron, how you doing today, man?
What's up, guys? How you doing? Good evening.
This guy has look at this guy has $1 million smile. He has these white teeth. Seriously, I sneak tip hate on Myron. He's a better looking guy than me. He's in better shape. He has better teeth than me, and he's younger than me. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Dude, they're fake. I beat up with Dennis and took him from his office. That's all I did.
Well, you know what? When I fuck a girl with fake tits, I still bust a nut. Doesn't really matter if they're. Well, I have a confession to make. Well, what's that?
This is true.
I remember one girl told me I have a confession to make. I'm like, well, she's like, my tits are fake, and I'm like, I knew that. Like, what the fuck? I'm supposed to like. What do you think? It's so funny. Guys always like, well, fake tits are overrated. No, they're not. And then girls like to hate on other girls who have fake tits. Oh my god, our tits are so fake. We don't care. Like, we're not going to...
Haters going to hate.
Oh, yeah, fake tits? I'm not turned on anymore. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, dude, haters going to hate, man. Especially here in Miami. It's common, so I'm used to it.
Dude, like you said, man. A Tennessee 9, probably a Miami 3, right? Miami 3, probably.
Yeah, she won't get noticed.
Yeah, it's good. Good God.
She won't get noticed, man. Competition here is fierce.
Of course. Competition anxiety. All right, well, let's go ahead and get into it, man. So what we are going to do is we are going to go over some of the common fitness myths. The phone lines are open, 914-205-5356. Again, that's 914-205-5356. That's the number to call to get in on the show. We already have a semi-ignorant but not so ignorant statement. BM says that abs are overrated. Now, I'll put it to you like this. Right? Abs could be overrated, but in I guess in sort of a roundabout way, I guess abs are overrated, but within the sexual marketplace, your sexual market value, if you have abs, dude, you've gone up like 2 points. Number one. Number two, the reason why you're saying abs are overrated is because you don't have abs, right? Anybody who says, like, I just got a new tattoo, right? Any guy who says, well, tattoos are overrated, well, you don't have any tattoos, right? Abs are overrated, you don't have abs. In other words, you want abs, but you can't have them, or you're not willing to work for them, so you're going to call them overrated to give yourself an excuse not to watch your diet, right? BM, you got to come stronger than that, my man. You got to come stronger than that. Myron, you have abs. You tell me, are they overrated on the sexual marketplace?
It doesn't help me at all. I just stay at home all day and hang out.
There you go. Well, I guess
you're in Miami. And no, dude, I mean, like from biological perspective, like women are naturally attracted to abdominals. So like, why would you not give yourself every edge if you're, and also from a health perspective, like look good, feel good, right? So it's like, why would you, carrying around extra body fat almost never helps you. So it's like, why not be lean and attractive at the same time and be healthy?
Right.
So.
Well, because dudes are lazy, and being healthy and attractive is very difficult to do. It's not easy to do, and this is why most people do not do it. So that's how that goes. So let's go ahead and get started here with myth number 1. Does morning cardio on an empty stomach burn more fat? This is something that we have heard fitness experts the world over constantly preach. You got to work out on an empty stomach. You got to do cardio on an empty stomach. You got to wake up on an empty stomach, down a cup of black coffee, and go run 10 miles if you want to burn more fat.
Yeah, man. So, hey guys, welcome to the show. We're going to talk about some fitness myths, and this is one of the big ones that I wanted to talk about. And we'll hopefully do a couple more of these episodes for you guys, but this is the big one that everyone talks about. So basically this myth came from the false premise that insulin is low when you wake up in the morning, therefore more fat will be burned during activity. This is from a 1970 study that showed that carbs were burned before fat if food was consumed prior to exercise, which is why it was viewed as beneficial. But I just want to stress out there that as we did another episode, which you guys are free to look at, me and Donovan broke down fat loss from A to Z. We all know that calories in versus calories out is the main factor when it comes to fat loss. So just because you burn more fat during actual exercise, it does not mean you will burn more fat overall in the grand scheme. Okay.
Wow.
So they did a study actually in 2014, Brad Schoenfeld and his team, where they took 20 young women and they had them do cardio in a fed state and then do cardio in a fasted state. And they put both women equated calories, 500 calorie deficit with macronutrients matched, aka protein, the most important macro, as we discussed in one of the other podcasts. And they had them do fasted cardio for 1 hour, 3 times per week. And what they found was there was absolutely like no fat loss difference among the two groups. So what does this mean? It tells you this: there's nothing special about fasted cardio. Calories in versus calories out is still king.
Okay.
If you burn more calories than you take out than you take in during a prolonged period of time, you will lose fat despite being on an empty stomach or not. So this proves once again, guys, that adherence is the #1 factor when it comes to success in fitness, and calories in versus calories out is the main driving force when it comes to fat loss. Exercise and timing do matter, but to smaller roles when it comes to energy balance. So energy balance dictates everything, guys. So if you hate waking up in the morning and doing cardio, you're welcome.
Yeah, right. You don't have to kill yourself in the morning to burn more fat. BM actually says transverse abdominal. I've heard that term before. I have no idea what that means. What does that mean?
The TVA, it's a part of your abs that has like that that helps you get that V tape, that Adonis belt. That's what he's talking about.
Oh yeah, gotcha.
That's what the TVA is.
All right, very good. See, BM is a power lifter. This is why he knows abs are overrated. Yeah, this is actually a good statement by him. Now that I know he's a power lifter, most power lifters don't have abs, man. And here's the thing: just because you have abs does not mean you have core strength, right? Like there are a lot of fat guys that have a tremendous amount of core strength. Like power lifters almost always have bellies, don't they? Or do they?
Yeah, a lot of them carry a decent amount of body fat, you know, in the higher teens, just because you're just going to be able to push more weight the bigger you are, you know, and you'll be able to, you know, because as you get sub 10% body fat, like your strength almost always deteriorates to some extent, assuming you're natural. Even if you're on drugs, you're still going to lose some strength.
Sure.
So powerlifters tend to hold more body fat just for performance reasons.
Okay.
But you know, I mean, if he's a powerlifter, I get it. But it's
listen, I get it now. Like he said, abs are overrated. Well, listen, I guess at the end of that, abs are overrated. If you're a powerlifter, absolutely, I 100% agree. It doesn't really matter whether or not you have abs. It's the weight that you push. So I certainly understand that now. Anything to add to does morning cardio on an empty stomach burn more fat?
No, just the takeaway, guys, is that if you enjoy morning cardio and it helps you stick to your routine, do it. But understand that it doesn't give you any special benefit over a calorie deficit and training at other times of the day. So as usual, adherence and you know, your schedule and sticking to it matters over everything. And calorie deficit if fat loss is the goal.
Let's move to the next one. This is morning they actually just did this.
Yeah, that was. That was So we'll move on to okay.
It's a big one. Do ice baths and cryotherapy improve recovery? What are your thoughts on that?
So I actually wasn't gonna. I decided to insert this myth because all over Miami, like cryotherapy spas are opening up, and I'm sure in other major cities as well. And there's been like a big push by some fitness industry guys to do cryotherapy for fat loss or for helping with hypertrophy, etc., and recovery. And the reality, guys, is to distill it, is that cryotherapy is not really what it says it is. Basically, there were a bunch of studies that were done where they basically took subjects and put them and gave them cryotherapy, and they found that it actually blunted their ability to build muscle long term. It hurt their ability to their body's ability to conduct muscle protein synthesis, aka recover and get bigger. Now, with that said, ice baths definitely help with acute athlete recovery. So, like if you're a competing athlete and you have multiple bouts in a short duration of time and you need to recover quickly, then yes, ice baths definitely can help you. Or if you're trying to maintain a certain weight or size and you don't really care about hypertrophy, then yes, ice baths definitely do help. So they have a place in the world of performance athletics. But if you're like a normal guy like us, right, where we're all trying to go to the gym, build muscle, get better looking, lose fat, cryotherapy is not optimal.
Felt that because football players love to take ice. Now, ice baths, I think the reason why football players take ice baths is to reduce the swelling, right?
Yeah, it helps with that. It helps with the inflammation. It definitely helps with because a lot of the times these guys got to go to practice like a day or two later and get hit again. So it definitely helps with the short-term acute recovery. But for like average Joe, just trying to get better in the gym and grow, yeah, ice baths are not optimal. And there's been a couple of studies that show that. I think there's 3 studies now that are showing that ice baths and cryotherapy in general are not optimal when it comes to hypertrophy, aka the enlargement of the muscle.
Okay, stuff, man.
So yeah.
So now this last statement here says, though ice therapy has benefits for competitive athletes, it should not be used for hypertrophy if hypertrophy is the goal, right? So in other words, just like an offensive, like I'm sitting here watching the Seahawks and the 49ers. These guys are going to be taking ice baths tonight, probably tomorrow. That's going to be to reduce the swelling, to sort of not really repair the damage or to become stronger. They're just using this to quicken up the healing process. But is there a difference between healing and recovery? Because again, if Jimmy Garoppolo has a mild ankle sprain, he's gonna put his ankle in ice. He's not trying to strengthen his ankle. He's just trying to reduce the swelling.
Okay, that's a good distinction. So I would say, so recovering in the sense of from resistance training, because so when your goal is when you're lifting, you're breaking down the muscle,
right? And
you're trying to, and then you eat, you recover, you take in that protein, muscle protein synthesis occurs, the muscle comes back stronger and hopefully bigger, which is the goal. So if your goal is to come back bigger and stronger and increase muscle hypertrophy, then ice baths definitely aren't helpful for that. But if your goal is to recover from a performance standpoint, like you're speaking about, like whether it be alleviating soreness, strain, pain, etc., so that you can come back in and do another bout in a short duration of time, whether it be 24 hours, 48 hours later, then definitely ice baths can help you in that regard. So that's a good distinction to make, that recovering for the purpose of muscle adaptation for hypertrophy is different than recovering for performance from athletic performance. Which I'm glad you brought that up. That's a very good distinction.
Very good. Antonio,
2 different types of recoveries.
Antonio Espinoza, who is obviously new to the show and new to you, says, besides the whole calories in, calories out, you should learn more about calculating macros. Yeah, dude. No shit, Sherlock. Dude, we covered that one the first time here. Antonio,
yeah,
we got to go back and watch it. Listen, I know we got a bunch of know-it-alls in here that are going to come in here and act like you know more than this guy knows. But before you start talking about what we should or shouldn't talk about, just go back and watch the other stuff. We talk about macros almost every episode. Then some chucklehead comes in here talking about you should be learning. Listen, we know that. Listen, I appreciate the statement, but that's remedial. That's I don't know, what's that, episode 1, episode 2? You guys are killing it.
It was like episode 1, guys. So check it out. Just search Donovan Sharpe fat loss, and it's gonna come right up.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Protein breaks down the amino acids, which are the building blocks for. Oh, come on. Oh, where do these guys come from? Brasmus Fash says, I'm from Washington. The Seahawks have been a disappointment. Yeah, you know what? I wish I could say that my 11-4 football team were a disappointment, right? My team is 8-7. We barely squeaked into the playoffs. So I'd love to be disappointed in my 11-4 football team. That's funny. He says, easy man, just trying to help. You must not know who the fuck I am. I shoot first, ask questions later. I don't give a shit if you're trying to help. If you want to help, start your own fucking show. Right? If you want to help, you can come on with me. You can send me an email. Hey, Donovan, I've got some knowledge, whatever the case may be. I'm gonna tell you guys right now, do 2 things. Either unsub or get the fuck out of here. I don't need you know-it-alls in here trying to, no, we don't need the confusion. This is why I have Myron Gaines on. I try to have him on once a week. I don't need you fucking know-it-alls telling, well, shit, I don't know anything about diet and fitness. I just do what I do. I don't need you fucking know-it-alls coming in here telling me, well, you're right, you're wrong. If you really have something to add, or if you disagree with something Myron says, do me a favor, guys, just give me a call. The number's right there on the screen, 914-205-5356. Enough of these keyboard gangsters. I'm tired of you fucks. You guys are killing me.
Yeah, for the guys that are wondering, we did an episode on, it's called The Definitive Guide on Losing Fat While Preserving Muscle Without All the BS. We did that back 2 months ago. So feel free to search it. We broke down macro, literally went over all the way from what is a calorie to how to preserve muscle during a cut. We went from A to Z on the whole thing, guys. So feel free to check that one out. We broke fat loss down all the way. So, and we put a bunch of scientific references in the description box for you guys. So,
and I will be putting more research in this that Myron sends to me. Somebody on Twitter, Ulka Ko, says, "Is Donovan uploading this later?" No, it'll be on this channel. Like if you're watching on Twitter, you can watch it over on Twitter. You can watch it over on Facebook. You can do whatever you want. You can it'll be available for everybody. Good question there. All right, let's go to the next one. The use of heart rate monitors to assess recovery for resistance training.
Now I gotta say, man, this kind of hurt me a little bit.
Feelings in here, man.
Yeah, and the reality is, guys, like when you look at the evidence-based research, you have to put your own how do I say this? Your own ideologies to the side and just assess the facts. And I'll admit it that when I was in college, I was a Division I rower, and we use heart rate training to dictate a lot of our recovery, our training, and everything like that. And it might have a different space in endurance training, but when it comes to resistance training, guys, to sum it up, it's pretty useless. So a recent study done by Schneider and all from Germany showed heart rate variability is useless when predicting recovery levels. The study revealed HRV in general does not correlate well with performance. There's often a large variance in heart rate day to day, and performance differs considerably per athlete. Then another study by De Oliveira showed heart rate variability to determine when to train led to marginally worse strength gains and no better muscle growth. So we got two studies showing that it's fairly useless when it comes to resistance training. So as a matter of fact, they were able to find that like following damaging training sessions, you're better off doing like a vertical leap jump test from squats to assess your recovery versus doing HRV. So in general, guys, to sum this up, like it's not because I know like Whoops, Apple Watches, basically like fitness watches in general are becoming very popular
right now. But
with they're becoming like I got an Apple Watch myself. So but I know a lot of people use them for fitness, and they like to look at the heart rate feature to assess their recovery, if they should go to the gym and train hard, or if they need another day of rest. And the reality is, guys, like no, it's not that accurate. So if you're getting a little bit of a higher read on your heart rate, like you just got to sack it up and go to the gym and continue to train hard. Because heart rate variability is there's a couple studies now showing that it's not reliable when it comes to resistance training, and then on top of that, relying on it might actually even inhibit your progress. So, so this one hurt me, man. So as a former endurance athlete, this one hurt. So, but hey, you got to look at the evidence.
Brass Mustache asks a very good question. Are rowing machines a waste of time? I mean, you used to row, crew. What do you think?
Yeah, man, that brings back very painful memories. So, because I know people are going to ask this in the comments, my PR2K is 6:09, and my PR6K is 20 minutes. I couldn't break 20 minutes, but that's a whole nother story. But 121 split, 141 split. But in general, guys, the rowing machine is an excellent tool. I think if you are going to do cardio, you should use it. But I would use it from high intensity interval training perspective. So one workout that we used to do all the time
as a supplement.
Yes, to supplement your current lifting training routine.
Exactly. You know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah, there we go.
I totally inherited that from you, dude. Like, don't get it twisted, guys. I don't know anything about this stuff.
No. No, Donovan's more knowledgeable when he's leading on to you guys. We've had many discussions about fitness.
Oh, stop it,
man. But all jokes aside, definitely, you want to have some type of resistance training program in place, and then use the rowing machine definitely to supplement. One thing that we used to do that was really good, we used to do 1 minute on, 1 minute off back in the day, times 10 times 3, which is basically 30 bouts. Now that might be quite a bit. I would suggest to a beginner just do minute on, minute off times 5. And then when you get good, do times 10, and then take, and then, just get better. Just try to push yourself each time. And that's a really good workout to do, like, especially after like a weight training session, you get out of there. But that's a really good, the ergometer is a great machine to use for cardio. As a matter of fact, I prefer that over running or other conventional forms, because you're actually using your muscles to do it. So.
Okay, good stuff. We actually have a pretty good question here by Popovsky. He says, which supplements are really useless? Already know about BCAAs. This is something that you
damn
about. Okay. 3-0 49ers, by the way, 3-0 San Francisco. Myron, what's your take on the supplements?
Okay, good question. And I will do a presentation for you guys on supplements too, but I'll answer this for sure right now. So the supplements that are worth your money, guys, if I had to pin it down, would be creatine monohydrate, basic creatine monohydrate, a multivitamin, and a fish oil. And then, get blood work done. If you're deficient in other minerals or micronutrients, then get that supplement, which you need, or just improve your diet. Because I always think it's better to get your micronutrients and nutrients in general from food over supplements, because supplements are exactly what they say they are, to supplement your current lifestyle and training habits. So supplements should never be relied on. They should be taken more as like an insurance policy. So like me, I eat a lot of spinach and kale, but I take a multivitamin at the end of the day, just an insurance policy to make sure that I, get my adequate micronutrients in. But if we're going to talk about straight real supplement that works, I would say creatine monohydrate. I actually made a post about it on my Instagram.
Okay.
But to sum it up, you want 5 to 10 grams per day. If you want, you can load it for about 1 week where you're taking 20 to 25 grams. That way it'll pretty much saturate in the muscle, and then you'll see some benefits from training. Don't load it for more than a week, though. Don't listen to these supplement companies. They're just trying to get you to go through the tub.
Yeah.
What was that?
Yeah. No. Listen, I was actually going to say that. If you load it for a week, they just do that so that you and this is similar to the auto industry telling you that you have to change your oil every 3,000 miles, right? You don't have to do that.
Yeah.
Really closer to 5,000 miles. But these companies say, oh, you have to go through a 1 week loading period, just like Myron said, so that you go through the tub quicker and buy more.
So I would say you can load it for a week, but I wouldn't load it for more than a week because it's 20 to 25 grams for a week. You'll definitely have the creatine will saturate in your muscles and you'll start getting the benefit. But don't load it for more than a week. Or you could just go nice and slow and go 5 to 10 grams a day, and then in about 3 weeks it'll be loaded in your body, and then you'll start to see the performance benefits. But the creatine companies, the supplement companies will tell you, oh yeah, load it for 2-3 weeks at a time, 20 grams, and that's like you said to help you get through the tub faster because creatine is very cheap to make and it's very cheap to buy. So they just want you to buy more of it, and they know it's one of the few supplements that actually works. So in general, guys, supplements are a waste of time. Get your lifestyle and diet and habits in check first. Then you can start spending money on investing on supplements. But if we're going to pick one supplement that actually really works, creatine monohydrate, just the powder form, the cheap stuff. You don't got to get the pills or any of the other weird stuff. There you go. But you don't need creatine. It's just an added benefit.
Okay, very good. All right, let's talk about here we
go.
Now we're about to get hurt feelings. Now we're gonna get some hurt feelings here. Intermittent fasting, keto, paleo, carnivore. I don't even know what zone is. Insert new fad diet here. What in the world? Like, Myron, you're gonna piss everybody off. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I know, man. We got to do it for the views, though, right? No, I knew this is gonna be a point of contention because in 2019, going into 2019, one thing I've learned is that diet zealots are like, it's a real thing. Like, people literally like subscribe to a diet and it's like a religion now. People don't exercise practicality or any type of, thinking on their own or critical thinking. It's like, oh, I'm keto only. Oh, intermittent fasting. Oh, carnivore only. And it's like, The reality is this, guys. There's keyboard warriors all over the place fighting to death in YouTube comments. Diets have created zealots incapable of understanding other nutritional principles besides of that of their own group. The reality is this, guys. None of the above diets have any special benefits, okay? If calories, protein, and fiber are equated, there's virtually no difference in any of the diets when it comes to fat loss or improvement in body composition. Let me say that again. If calories, protein, and fiber are equated, guys, there's no difference in any of the diets. So what's important? What's important is adherence and what you enjoy, okay? That's what matters. Whatever you can stick to is best for you. There is no best diet. There's only a best diet for you and your lifestyle and your preferences. So don't let it, there's a huge agenda, with Netflix and other popular publications trying to advocate diets. A lot of these MDs coming out saying, oh yeah, this is the best diet. This is the best diet. Like this snake diet thing that I've heard about. Like, if you like it and it helps you stay in a calorie deficit, cool. But no diet is better than the other.
Okay, very good. Excellent. Hang on a second. Okay, cool. So we debunked we only debunked a few myths today, guys. This wasn't really designed to be a super long show. Let me go through the chat and see if we can find any other questions here, because there are actually a few pretty good questions. Oh, MLD says fly Eagles fly. Appreciate that.
Shout out to Jonathan, man.
Yeah, listen, of course. Big Brandon says he's not a fan of fake tits. Dude, I love fake tits. Fake tits are great tits. But hey, listen, Big Brandon is the TSR Club bouncer. I am mad at you. Ralph says, let's see that new tat. Probably can't really see it too well on the camera, but I'm going to post pictures on social media. I'm going to post pictures of this on social media, so we'll get that all squared away. One thing that I've made no attempt to try to cover up the fact that I'm going to be trying a plant-based diet. And as soon as I said that, I had a lot of guys, oh, it's a scam and this and that and the other. And this is funny. The reason why guys are telling me this is because they like their steak. Listen, I like steak too, right? And the main reason I'm doing this isn't because of I want to save the environment. It's not because I think meat is bad for you. No. The bottom line is that I saw men who look like I want to look and who are as strong as I want to be telling me that they don't eat meat. So I said, you know what? There's really no way to know if this thing is going to work or not. So I'm going to try it myself. I'm going to get my blood work done on New Year's Day. I'm going to post it for all the world to see. I'm going to go on a 100% plant-based diet for 90 days. Then I'm going to get my blood work done. Well, and I'm going to get everything tested. And I want to see if I am actually a healthier person. And obviously feeling better, that's subjective, but I've heard all sorts of things about a plant-based diet. It helps your, cardio, it helps you vascularity. It helps you to sleep better, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And dude, no shortage of dudes coming out the woodworks. Oh, you're an idiot for trying this. Listen, man, I want to try it because I'm 42 and I want to feel good and I want to look good. And there are dudes who look and feel the way I want to look. I saw 60-year-old dudes who were ripped to the fucking, shredded to the fucking bone, talking about, I'm on a plant-based diet. So that's why I'm going to try it. Will it work? I don't know, but I'm not going to base what I think about something just based on the word of people. I've seen enough evidence to suggest to me that I might be able to benefit from it. And if I do, great, I'll stay on it. If it doesn't, I'll get off of it. That's just all there is to it. What are your thoughts on it? And I know you and I have talked about this. I've talked about this before. What are your thoughts on the plant-based diet?
Yeah, so I actually did a plant-based diet for a few months in 2018 when I first moved out here to Miami, and I'll tell you guys, like, I felt great on it. My thing was, and I'm kind of like Donovan. I didn't do it, though I don't knock the people that do it for ethical reasons. That I actually commend that people that do it because they don't want animals to die or whatever.
Right.
But and also for the environment, because obviously meat does use a lot of water and farms, etc. But for me, I did it. Hey, let me see how I feel. Let me give it a shot. And I felt great. I'm not going to lie. My thing was, it was just hard for me to get my required protein in per day, because I'm taking in around 250 to 275 grams per day. So which is quite a bit. So it was hard for me to hit it doing that. Now, could have I done it with other vegan supplements and everything like that? Yeah, I probably could have, but it was too, it made life kind of cumbersome. It was inconvenient. So I said, I'm going to go back to eating meat, because eating meat didn't have me feeling crappy in the first place. But with that said, I don't knock anybody that wants to try a vegan diet. I think it's, there definitely are a bunch of studies out there that show that it can definitely lead to improved health. And if you enjoy it and it helps you reach your goals, then why not? You know what I mean? So like, people always want to hate on certain diets. Like, my thing is this: I'm not anti-diet. I'm anti-zealot. You know what I mean? So if someone wants to try something and give it a shot, like Donovan's doing, keeping an open mind, can't knock a guy for that. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, it's about looking good and feeling good. That's what we're here to talk about: feeling good, being healthy. Like, we're not here to advocate guys get on drugs or do anything destructive to their bodies. It's all about being healthy. So, yeah, man, I say go for it, dude.
All right, Luis Hernandez, I had to time you out because you're typing in all caps, dude. Like, type like a man. Don't type like a fucking 6-year-old. Like
keyboard warriors, man.
Like, God, well, no. I mean, he's put some stuff in here, but dude, with the all caps for real, like, dude, this is listen. All caps is the way women chat. This is the way children chat, and this is not a show for women or children. So, I'm not doing all of that. Just cool it with the all caps. Runaway Train says a combo of isometrics and high interval intermittent training on alternating days are what few practice, and my HGH levels went through the roof and noticeably increased muscle mass with only a total of 3 hours training per week. That sounds like, listen, I don't doubt it, but it sounds like this guy's a genetic freak. Like, high intensity interval training 3 hours a week. I mean, unless this guy is powerlifting on the alternate days, the only reason I can think that this works is that he's a genetic freak. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, we would need to know like what he's actually doing in the weight room, how many calories he's consuming, what he's consuming, how long he's been training. Like, there's so many other factors that come into play, and like, you just never know, with these guys, what they're
Yeah,
You
right.
know?
That's not.
And then also,
there's
people always tend to think that HGH is anabolic, which it's not. You know,
No.
like people that always talk about, oh, intermittent fasting. I do intermittent fasting because it secretes human growth hormone. And the reality is, no, human growth hormone, I know it sounds crazy, but it's actually not anabolic. And anabolic is basically a fancy term of saying, fancy way to say like building muscle. Yeah. So human growth hormone is not anabolic, guys. And if it was, then, hey, I'm Muslim, right? So like when we fast, everybody I know loses weight and loses their lean body mass. So you're telling me that if we were to just fast, we'd all release HGH and be jacked. By that reference, we'd just all be huge during Ramadan, right? So it's like, come on, man. Like
going to
HGH,
fast, all be
it's not anabolic. Yeah. Yeah, everybody I know during Ramadan loses all their gains. This guy's over here saying, oh, HGH fasting. Yeah. You know, it's like, it's not anabolic, guys. It's not anabolic. I know it sounds counterproductive, but it is not anabolic.
All right, good stuff, man.
So,
Chris Redfield wants to know, what are your thoughts on the hip thrust? Yes, it's good for fucking. Listen, if you want to hip thrust, if you want to fuck your girl into oblivion, then yeah, hip thrust.
What are your hip thrust? It's by far the best glute movement. I do have a program, a female-centric program, and it's basically based all around hip thrusts. Hip thrusts are by far, with the EMG data and everything else, the anecdotal data, it's by far the best glute right now, the hip thrust, the conventional American barbell hip thrust. And it's also great for men too, because it's a great accessory lift for squatting. So if you're trying to get your squat up, it's an excellent accessory lift. Excellent.
So, first name, last name says I train 3 times a week and only eat 3 times a week. I eat one. Jesus Christ, here we go. He says I 1.5 pounds of fatty ribeye, 200 grams of white rice. In the white rice, I put in 2 egg yolks, 2 tablespoons of butter, a couple of slices of cheese, and some bacon. Wow. That is seriously fast. This dude, wait, so if he only eats 3 times, there's 184 hours in a week, right? So if this dude is eating 3 times a week, hang on, let's just do the math here, right? Let's just do the math here. So I'm sorry, 168 hours in a week. If this dude is eating 3 times a week, he's eating once every 56 hours, right?
Dude, yeah, he's probably on the snake diet or some crazy shit.
Yeah, so he's eating every 2.5 days. Like, yeah, I don't know. Listen, if that works for you, cool. I'm not a fitness expert, but I think I can safely say that you should not do that. I would not.
No, I agree with you, Donovan. I can confidently say that not eating is almost always counterproductive if your goal is to optimize body composition. Like, you know, this fasting thing is kind of taking a wild craze, man. And this is the thing, guys. Intermittent fasting, any of these fasting diets, all they're doing is putting you in a calorie deficit. So you're better off eating multiple times a day or eating on a schedule that you enjoy. Yeah. And then counting your calories and just putting yourself in a deficit versus doing this crazy stuff where you're eating once a day, you know, once every 2 or 3 days and on a whack job diet, like fast diet. Whatever, like just count your calories and put yourself in a deficit. That's what matters. Deficit is what matters.
That's all you got to do.
So
BM, he was very dehydrated on that diet. I'm assuming he's talking about the plant-based diet. Let's see.
Drink more water, man. Keep a gallon
everywhere. Hey, that's what you got to do, brother. Give me a second. Oh, I skipped all the way down to the bottom. Let's see here. Runaway Train says we've been omnivores by nature as long as humanity existed with hardly any issues. Let's keep it that way. See, and again, I'm not saying, well, wait a minute, hold on. And the thing is whether that's true or not, I don't know, and I don't care, right? And again, the Game Changers, that was a very compelling documentary. And a lot of guys said, well, James Cameron like funded that and he just invested in in some sort of vegan he
owns like a pea protein company, I think. Yeah,
or some shit like that. So there was an agenda. Okay, maybe there was, but just because there's an agenda behind what somebody says doesn't necessarily make what they say false, right? And I'm not a health expert. I don't know. All I know, and I didn't think of the studies and this and the numbers. No. The only thing I'm basing this on, I saw a heavyweight boxer, an Olympic weightlifter, and a dude who is doing like 2,000-pound farmer's walks telling me that they stopped eating meat 5 years ago, right? I saw a guy he was 60 years old. He was ripped. He was shredded to the fucking bone, talking about he hasn't eaten meat since 1973. And I'm like, okay, I want to look like those guys look like. So that's why I want to try it. It has nothing to do with saving the planet or saving the earth or no. I don't care. Like, I don't give a shit about that. Like, I don't have time for all that nonsense. I want to look good and I want to feel good. And if the plant-based diet gets me there, then I'll do it. We'll see what happens.
I think it's a good experiment, man. 90 days, and your blood work probably will improve. You know, the people that eat vegan diets tend to eat, because the vegan diet by default cuts out like a lot of food that you typically shouldn't be overeating anyway.
Right.
So, you know, your blood work and your health markers are probably going to improve regardless. And that's what this is about, guys. You know, whether you get healthy through a vegan diet, a conventional diet, an omnivore diet, keto diet, whatever,
right,
it's all about getting healthy. I'm just not an advocate of like crazy diets where you're not eating like 2 or 3 days in a row. Like, that's just wild.
Dude,
like,
the guy's like, I eat
crazy, dude.
What the fuck? Maybe he meant 3 times a day. I don't know.
I hope he means 3 times a day.
Well, MLD says that's the heart attack plan. Yeah, exactly. Says that look on Myron Gaines' face. Oh my God. So Ralph wants to know, what is the snake diet? Never heard of it. Neither have I.
From what I know, man, it's a zealot diet. It's like, it has like a crazy cult following where guys are, it's like water and like not eating for a period of like a day or two. And then like eating all your calories. It's a zealot diet, man. 100%. I remember someone was trying to argue with me at a forum on it. And I was like, dude, this is not, this is wild stuff.
These fad diets work great for weight loss. But again, just the number one thing with diets, Myron always says this: adherence. Can you stick with the snake diet? Can you stick with the keto diet? Can you stick with the plant-based diet? Can you, if you are struggling to stay with a certain kind of diet, that diet is not going to work for you, because eventually you're going to get off of the diet. You know what I mean? Devin likes to say this. Bless her little heart. And she has a great figure. There's no doubt about it. But bless her little heart, she says, she likes to say this: well, I tend to think that if you're craving something, it probably means your body needs it. And I said to her, Devin, I'm craving a fucking pepperoni pizza. Does my body need that? Right? Like, I'm craving fucking pralines and cream ice cream. I'm going to eat the whole tub. Is that something my body needs? Bless her little heart. That's what she says. But I understand what she's trying to say. Is there some truth to that? Does your body show markers of needing, I don't know, maybe it's physical, maybe, I don't know, maybe if you have headaches, maybe you need to drink more water, maybe if your skin is drying up, maybe you need to eat more greens. What does your body tell you, or can your body tell you what you should or shouldn't be eating?
I mean, I would say that, you know, besides like hunger and thirst, I don't know if your body can like exactly tell you, hey, you need vegetables, you know?
Right. You need to eat.
I wish there'd be more healthy people if it was like that, you know? Like, it amazes me how many people don't eat vegetables or drink water, or like, you know, actually the number one thing that I see with people, one of their big mess ups, fuck ups when it comes to fitness, people don't consume enough protein, man. Like, people go to the gym and train with weights, and they're like, man, I'm not growing, or I'm not making gains. What is it? First thing I ask, well, how many calories are you eating per day? I don't know. Okay. Do you know how many grams of protein you're taking in per day? Which I don't know. That's a rhetorical question, because if they don't know how many calories they're taking in, they definitely don't know how much protein they're taking in.
Of course.
And they're like, maybe 100 grams. And I'm like, yeah, dude, that's your problem right there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right, that's the
like, that's the problem right there. You know, if you're not tracking your calories, if you're not tracking how much protein you're taking in, and you're actually going to the gym trying to build a better physique, you're fucking up. It's literally that is the equivalent of getting a car and trying to drive somewhere you've never been without a GPS. It's like, how are you going to get to somewhere you've never been without a GPS? Well, how are you going to try to get to somewhere fitness wise in your journey without, you know, tracking your progress and tracking what you're taking in every day? It's just ridiculous, you know. And the people use these, and that's why these fad diets have become so popular, because it's kind of a crux. Like, it helps people. It's almost dummy proof. Like, if you tell someone, hey, you can't eat carbs anymore, well, they're probably going to lose weight. It's going to put them inadvertently put them in a calorie deficit without them having to track calories. Whereas if they just track their calories and figured out what their caloric deficit needs are, they could eat the way they want and still lose the weight without suffering, be able to adhere to it, and keep the fat off forever.
Right. Why not just,
we talked about this too. Yeah. And we talked about this, guys, in an episode about metabolic adaptation. You should check that out. Me and Donovan are going to start compiling like a reference for you guys where, you know, fat loss, building muscle. We're going to cover all the big topics for you guys, nutrition, etc., and you'll be able to go back and look at those podcasts. But
excellent.
You know, yeah.
I'm actually going to make a playlist on my channel for this, because we're starting to, I think this is our 5th or 6th show, so I think it's time to start making the playlist. Nonstop Dre 360 says, have you ever done 23andMe DNA testing for health? What are your thoughts on that?
I never have, but you know, I would say go for it. You know, if you can get some medical information on, you know, particulars of your body, your health, etc., why not? I'm not exactly sure how accurate it is right now, but you know, I'm sure.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Somebody says you've got the snake diet wrong. Listen, I don't give a shit whether or not he has the snake diet wrong. That shit is whack, man. Listen, I understand the keto diet, right? Eat all meat, you know, dude, the snake diet. Like, dude, like drink salt water and eat every 2.5 weeks. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, that's crazy. When you are starving the body of nutrients, you don't function properly. You can't see, you can't eat, you can't shit, you can't even piss. Right? Like, why haven't I taken a piss for 3.5 days? Because you haven't eaten anything for 3.5 days. That's crazy talk. Like, get the fuck out of here with that. He doesn't know.
There is no way you're going to go to the gym and make progress.
The snake diet wrong. It doesn't matter if he's got it wrong. The snake diet is for fucking psychos. God, you guys are killing me. Jesus Christ, the snake diet wrong. Who gives a shit?
The point is this. I know it's a prolonged fast where you're not consuming calories for a good amount of time.
You know and
all I know is that's not conducive.
Hold
that's
on.
definitely not conducive.
I'm going to Google it. Okay, so the snake diet is a fasting-focused lifestyle that promotes a proactive eating routine. Okay, hang on a second. I'm gonna skim. Okay, the routine during fasting period: stop, drink juice, blah 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 blah. Getting started: water, sodium chloride, pink salt, baking. Oh, see, here we go. Snake juice recipe: 2 liters of water, 1 teaspoon of potassium chloride, 1/2 teaspoon of sodium chloride, which is Himalayan pink salt, 1 teaspoon of sodium bicarbonate, which is baking soda. Why don't they just put fucking baking soda, right? Like, and they're trying to make this sound like it's like, listen, get some water, get some salt, get some pink salt, some baking soda, and some Epsom salt. Like, people say you're a fucking psycho, but they say 2 liters of hydrogen, 2 parts hydrogen, 1 part oxygen, water, 1 teaspoon of potassium chloride, right? 1/2 teaspoon of soda. No, listen, we know what the fuck it is. This shit's crazy. Here's what you do. Here's what you do at the beginning of your snake diet. Number 1, you eat supper. Begin your first 48-hour fast. Stay occupied and drink snake juice. Oh my God. The first 48 will help you break your food addiction, rid your body of sugars and other toxins to help you get over the fear of fasting. Okay, well, that makes sense scientifically, but still, a 48-hour fast, I'll be a fucking zombie.
No, man. And that's the thing. Like,
now you got
trying to go to the gym and perform.
On,
you're not going
to the gym. That's exactly right.
Yeah, like what the hell? Like,
listen to this. Weigh and record your weight the same time each day. Test your urines for ketones the same. Now I got to test so now I'm hungry. I'm dizzy. I'm hangry. I'm fucking dizzy. Now I got to test my piss. Nah, man. Look at this. Feed. Do not gorge yourself, right? Continue with your usual daily activities. Repeat with a 72-hour fast. Repeat with a I'm out. That's it. I'm done.
Yeah, no, dude. See, and that is ridiculous because there is no way that you're going to be able to go to the gym and perform on that type of diet. And if you're not going to the gym and performing, well, then you've effectively limited your ability to stimulate muscle. When you limit your ability to stimulate muscle, now you can't grow. You don't make gains. So it's like,
Ralphie says that's called.
I don't know, man.
Diet. Yeah, listen, that's the snake diet. You want to, listen. You want to know
that's the
diet. It's the fucking Survivor diet. The people who are on the Survivor TV show, that's the fucking snake diet. Those motherfuckers are eating like every day and a half to get like they're doing these competitions. They're like getting in a pit and fighting each other for the right to like fight over a fucking half a can of rice or some shit. You got to be kidding me.
I should have made a slide on this, guys. Detoxes, any diet that tells you you're going to detox or cleanse or any of this these like trigger words, they're BS, guys.
Listen, if you want
to lose weight, calorie deficit.
Wait, what were you saying?
No, I said if you want to lose weight, calorie deficit. Like these cleanse diets, detoxes, they're all BS, guys. They're just gimmicks to try to sell you something.
Runaway Train says, I don't know. I got to question the protein thing. I've known ex-cons who got Jack telling me they did it on a diet with minimum amounts of protein and peanut butter. The body adapts. So you're telling me protein. So wait a minute. So you got ex-cons, and again, I don't want to negate that. Listen, if they're ex-cons, whatever, it doesn't matter what kind of people they are, right? But so you're telling me that there's a group of people who got jacked on minimum amounts of protein. Protein is the building block of muscles. Am I wrong?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so these ex-cons are lying to you. Dude, they're shaking motherfuckers to get their steak in the mess hall. Like, I don't buy that.
Yeah, and they might be eating more protein than you know. Unless you objectively know that they're not eating that much, how do you know? Like, these guys are asking for double meals. They're beating up guys to get extra food. So you don't know how much protein they're taking in per day or what they're doing for exercise regimens. You don't know their genetic potential. Some guys build muscle off of just doing push-ups and look excellent, So everyone's different.
He's a genetic freak.
Yeah.
A fun fact from Big Brandon says Carson Wentz is the first quarterback in NFL history to throw for 4,000 yards and not have a single wide receiver with 500 yards receiving. Listen, man, I don't want to turn this into a sports debate, but when it comes to Dak Prescott versus Carson Wentz, guys, it's over. Listen, Dak Prescott deserves his money, guys. He deserves anywhere between $25 and $30 million. He is an improved quarterback. He's made steady improvements over the years. He deserves a long-term contract. He ain't number 11, y'all. He's not Carson Wentz. And, well, the best availability is availability. Okay, well, Dak Prescott was available all season long. They went 8-8 with a shit schedule. Carson Wentz has been available all year long. He threw for 4,000 fucking yards without a wide receiver with 500 yards receiving. And here's another thing. Dak Prescott, his head-to-head against Carson Wentz, had won 3 straight meetings, right? In those meetings, they both had a 67% completion percentage, which is impressive, but Dak Prescott in those 3 wins, 7 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Carson Wentz in those 3 losses, 11 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. A lot of you motherfuckers out here are looking at the score and the skin tone, but not watching the game. And listen, man, I don't want to go off on a rant here, but this needs to be said. I get it, y'all. Like, there are a lot of brothers out here, and I understand, man, as a black man, we want black people to win, right? Like, we identify with the kinds of people that we root for, the people that we the most identify with. I get that, right? And I can't really, to be honest with you, I can't be objective in terms of who's better, Carson Wentz or Dak Prescott, because I'm an Eagles fan, right? The only people that should be having this discussion are people who don't like Philly or Dallas and people who don't have racial biases. But because we all know that's never going to happen, it is what the fuck it is. It's over. Carson Wentz is objectively better than Dak Prescott in every way, shape, or form. Carson Wentz is out here, dude, he's out here playing with practice squad guys. He just won 4 straight games, beat the Dallas Cowboys using a receiver who worked at Foot Locker last week and the local Allstate agent down here at South Street in Philadelphia, right? Dak Prescott has everybody. He's got Zeke Elliott, best running back in the league, Amari Cooper, and Michael Gallup. Couldn't beat the Eagles. Listen, I understand you want to say Dak Prescott is the better quarterback because you're black, you're African American, and no, stop doing that. Like, you guys, and then these African American sports pundits. Well, Dak Prescott is better than Carson Wentz. No, he's not. Because if both guys hit the open market right now, Carson Wentz would get more. He'd get more looks. The only team that is going to be willing to pay Dak Prescott $25+ million a year is the Dallas Cowboys. Guys, it's over. Stop arguing. It's over. It's over. It's over. And listen, you guys know I'm right. You know Wentz is better than Prescott. I know Wentz is better than Prescott. Dak Prescott is a great quarterback. He's probably a top 10, 11 quarterback in the pros. He's not Carson Wentz. End of discussion. Okay. Modern Life Dating says Dak doesn't deserve shit. Yeah, no. Now that I disagree with. Dak Prescott is better than most quarterbacks in the league. He absolutely deserves a contract. Tyron Hawley says peanut butter is loaded with protein. Yes, but you can't eat enough protein. You can't eat enough peanut butter to get the protein that you need. What are your thoughts on that, Myron?
Yeah, it's way too fat dense. To get the protein you would need from eating peanut butter, you'd be eating like 2,500 calories in just peanut butter. It's not worth it. You're better off getting like a whey protein or chicken, fish, steak, and maybe lean steak. That way, you're maximizing your protein to fat ratio to carb ratio.
So Theo K says, I did the snake diet during the summertime while remaining very active physically. It worked. I feel better after it and my health improved. It's not something you can do long-term just for detox. Okay. All right. Yeah. If you want to do a snake, because listen, some guys do the 60-day juice fast, right? There's a documentary called Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. The guy did nothing but drink green juice for 60 days. Diabetes gone. All of this health improved, but you can't sustain that. So yeah, listen, if you want to do the snake diet, and again, the word diet engenders temporary, right? Anytime I'm going to go on a diet, this means you're eventually going to come off of it. I'm going on a pilgrimage, which means you're coming off of it. I'm going on a training program. You're going, no. I'm going to change my eating habits. That's what you need to say. So anything that says the snake diet, listen, if you want to detox with that, that's fine, but you can't do, oh my God, dude. Ugh.
Yeah, it's not sustainable, man. Might get you some weight loss, but there's no way you'll be able to maintain that and adhere to it long term, which to me is signs of a diet that's not consistent, and being able to be adhered to is not a good diet, in my opinion.
Right, exactly.
So
Robert Will says Dak equals overrated. Next, Dak is a little overrated, but he's not that overrated. Listen, who else are the Cowboys going to go out and get? Right? Like Dak is their best option. They got to get him. I don't know. They'll probably franchise him. He's not Carson Wentz. You got to think of it this way. And I got to say this one more time. The Philadelphia Eagles had 2 quarterbacks on their squad. Okay. The Eagles let the Super Bowl MVP walk. Okay. They had a Super Bowl MVP on their roster who had made the playoffs twice, had a winning record in the playoffs, Super Bowl MVP. They let him walk, and they signed the guy who had season-ending injuries 2 years in a row. That should tell you all you need to know. They walked away from Nick Foles to sign Carson Wentz. And by the way, hopefully Nick Foles ends up back in Philly. Just saying. Green juice plus steak equals sorted. Okay. This is funny. Big Brendan says Dak's numbers are empty calories. Oh, all right. Okay. Fire killing more. All right. Hang on a second. 50's good says how much protein per day for body weight of 230 pounds. Your thoughts?
It depends on his body fat percentage. If your body fat percentage is high, then you might need somewhere between 0.8 to 1 gram per pound of body weight. I like to be on the higher end just as an insurance policy, so I would say 1 gram per pound of body weight.
Okay.
I don't know how high your body fat percentage is.
Okay, good stuff.
And then the leaner you are, the more your protein intake. The leaner you are, the more your protein intake needs to be higher.
Okay, very good. Matt Vasquez says Dallas will be fucked as long as Jerry Jones is alive, as we go back and forth here. And even then, his dumbass kids will take over. Matt, listen, Jerry Jones is he's a good owner, terrible GM. But I'm going to tell you what, I'm an Eagles fan. My favorite sports owner of all time, Jerry Jones. I fucking love Jerry Jones. The guy's fucking awesome. Love him. Robert Will says green juice plus steak, sorted. What do you think?
Yeah, I would say so. If you're eating all different types of food. I make a shake myself where I put spinach, kale, whey protein, a banana in there to drown out the disgusting taste. So yeah, you're getting everything.
I have an extraordinarily high tolerance for stuff that doesn't really taste that well. I can make a whole 16-ounce glass of green juice. I'll down that shit in 30 seconds. It just doesn't bother me. Yeah. It doesn't bother me. Roy Kaufman with the $10 super chat. He says, I did vegan last year, got hurt, not enough protein. Now I lift, eat meat, getting bigger. Can you do mostly a vegetable diet and supplement with meat to keep bodybuilding muscle? I think yes. Listen, it doesn't matter what kind of protein it is, as long as you're getting protein. You can eat nothing but salads and no meat. If you have the whey protein, which I need to buy, I think you're going to hit your goals. What are your thoughts, Myron?
Yeah, I mean, there's a common misconception that it's very tough to get protein on a vegan diet. You absolutely can. The thing is, though, is that the problem with a lot of vegan protein is that it's not a complete protein, and a lot of it misses some of the branched chain amino acids. Okay. So the most important one that a lot of the plant protein misses is called leucine, which leucine, without going into like the loser terminology for it, it basically kickstarts muscle protein synthesis, which is a fancy way of saying it kickstarts the recovery process. Okay. With rebuilding the muscle. So a lot of the plant protein lacks that. Now, with that said, you can definitely mitigate that problem by just consuming more protein on a vegan diet than normal. I would say so if you're taking in 1 gram per pound of body weight, I would say 1.1 to 1.2 grams per pound of body weight on a vegan diet, and then make sure you're getting different types of plant-based protein. You're getting your pea, your rice, etc. Types of protein, and get high quality protein. Like there's some vegan proteins that are high quality, that have all the essential amino acids that you can use. So you can definitely still make gains on a vegan diet. You just have to be a little bit more cognizant and take in more protein than you're accustomed to.
Which
but
means
yeah, you can definitely be on a veggie diet and
you got to listen. If you're going to be on a plant-based diet, and I'm not on a vegan diet, I'm actually going to call it a plant-based diet, because when you're vegan, I think it means you can't even wear, for whatever reason, you can't even wear, like, you can't consume anything with animal in it. So, and I like my leather shoes. I have a leather jacket and all that good stuff. But yeah, when you go on a plant-based diet or a vegan diet, whatever you want to call it, I think that tracking your macros, you have to be even more vigilant on that stuff.
For sure. On protein, because that is by far the most important. All the studies show it. It's by far the most important macronutrient when it comes to improving body composition for the better, when it comes to improving lean body mass and decreasing fat mass. So you just have to be a little bit more cognizant, but you could still make gains on it.
Robert Will says all protein powder cement my bowels. Wow, damn, that's
yeah. You got to experiment with different ones, man. You know, people react to different ones differently. To try maybe using one that isn't milk based, like normal whey proteins. You know, try using a plant based protein powder. Those aren't milk based. That might help you with the issues with your bowels.
Okay, good stuff. All right, well, plant based protein powder. Okay. 1 second here. There we go. All right. Hang on a second. Hey, Enough is Enough says, how much did your home gym cost? Just north of $5,000. Yeah.
Not bad.
Right. Yeah. Not bad.
It's not bad at all. It's not bad at all
to get, but yeah, it's cost me like $5,300 all in all. Oh, brass.
That's real good, Donovan.
Honey. Yeah. I worked.
Most people will spend like easily $50K on a home gym.
Well, I had limited space to work with, and I'm not a guy who needs all of the machines. I need to do my compound lifts. I need barbells, and I need a butt blaster to make sure that Devin's ass stays hot. That's all. That's all I needed. Let's see. Theo wants to know, which plant-based protein powder will you be using, Donovan? I don't know. I'll actually let you know here in just a second. Because I'm looking at.
I'll recommend one for you, Donovan. I'll send you some links after.
All right. Yeah. Please do. So yeah. I would love to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I know a good one.
Roy Kaufman with another $10 super chat says, I'm just concerned. I was only doing yoga. Now I'm lifting hard and doing yoga. My boy and I were talking about this. I'm the idiot that actually reads exactly what's on the screen. I know it's just a typo. My boy and I were talking about this, and I'm concerned with getting injuries as I cut these next months. Oh, what are your thoughts there?
So definitely check out the video that me and Donovan did on fat loss, where we kind of outlined how to
I remember
cut. But to distill it here for you now so you have an answer. Number one, don't drastically cut your calories. Number two, weigh yourself once a week or every day and take an average of the 7 days.
Okay.
Diet nice and slow. Don't kill yourself. Make it nice and sustainable. Give yourself a slight calorie deficit. Keep your protein intake high. Keep your stress low, and maximize recovery in between training sessions. You know, like don't stress yourself out. You know, limit alcohol intake. Man, we should probably do a presentation on alcohol, actually, Donovan, on the next one. I was thinking about that, because people ask me a lot about that.
Yeah, people ask me a lot about this too.
Like how to mitigate, how bad it is for you, and everything like that. So we can probably do one on that for you guys.
Yeah,
let Donovan know.
Cut out alcohol. Yeah, New Year's Day, I'm gonna cut out, because I've drank, dude. Over the holidays, I've drank a lot. Oh my god, that's just over the holidays, you know. It's and all that stuff. But I gotta cut back on all that things. Robert Will says no thanks. He said try them all, but thanks. Robert Will is not doing protein powder. My guess. Dude, Robert Will's probably constipated for like a week.
He's just gonna have to eat meat all day. Or
I'm not doing this shit. He's like, fuck this shit. That's funny. So Roy Kaufman says perfect. Okay, perfect. Excellent. Okay. Yeah, I think that we should definitely talk about alcohol and diet the next time.
Yeah, I've been getting a lot of questions about that, like how to mitigate, you know, alcohol consumption, what to do. Should I drink? If I do drink, what should I drink? Because like people are gonna party anyway, so they just want to know to how they can do it intelligently. So we might as well do it, you know, because people are going to do it anyway. So we might as well teach them how to do it correctly.
What not to do. Don't drink 2 whiskey sours right before bed. It puts you right to sleep. Probably not so good for your health. Just saying. Just saying. A friend of mine told me this, actually. I may or may not be talking about myself or somebody else. Myron, as always, thank you very much for coming on, man. Dude, big time wisdom. This guy is unbelievably awesome. If you guys want to get a hold of him on Instagram, it's at UnpluggedFit. You go to his website, www.unpluggedfitnesslife.com. I am currently one of his clients. I get his messages every day. Now that things have calmed down, now that the holiday season is over, I've got my gym belt. I'm going to absolutely throw myself into my fitness. I've got my show on autopilot, and I'm really I've got a couple of goals. I've actually got 3 goals this year. I would like to get down to 10% body fat. I'd like to make $250,000 a year, and I would like to buy an Audi in cash for under $30,000. I think I can hit all of those goals this year, and that starts with the home gym. Myron, any last words before we cut it?
No, man. Thanks for having me on the show. Guys, I specialize in, obviously helping guys build muscle, burn fat, get aesthetic, improve their powerlifting lifts. Actually, Donovan's running one of my advanced programs on powerlifting. He's been making crazy strength gains, so that's been great. And then I also help guys with rowing, with like rowing machine, improving their speeds on the rowing machine. I used to row Division 1. So yeah, hit me up on Instagram, hit me up on my website. You can set up a free consultation. And yeah, man, we'll keep bringing you guys free content, and maybe alcohol will be the next topic I'm thinking. But let Donovan know, guys, the Patreon subscribers, let them know.
Yeah, man. And
we'll get a topic together for you guys, and whatever you guys want to learn about.
And by the way, because
we'll bring the science.
And by the way, because Myron rode crew in college, he probably has friends like Field or Thaddeus Hartley.
Yeah, the brothers from Harvard.
Of course, dude. Tad. Those weird names. Pennington.
We raced Harvard, man. We lost every year. I fucking hate those guys.
Dude, you have listen, dude. You don't have a chance against Pennington, Field, and Thaddeus. You just don't. And then the back guy Hartley. No way. Again, Myron, thanks for coming on, and look forward.
Thank you, Donovan.
Man.